Right, well, Rishi Sunak's been out and about today, giving a high-level speech on about his views on what is colloquially known as Sick Note Britain. And my friends watching and listening at home, I just put this to you, that the number of people claiming sickness benefit has gone up by 2/3 since the end of COVID. Now, this has led our Prime Minister and our Health and Work and Pension Secretary, Mel Stride, to say, what on earth can we do about it? Well, they've come up with a brand new big idea, which I actually think is an old idea. I seem to remember us doing something like this in 2010, that your local GP will no longer be able to sign you off sick. You will have to go to a centre, I think they're called a well-to-work centre or something nonsense like that, where you will be assessed and they will try and work out what you can actually do. Stella, big intervention from the Prime Minister. Will it work?
No. So 2 points. Firstly, the people who usually go to get a sick note are people who are already at work. So the whole rhetoric has been connected to people who are on disability benefits and people who don't want to work.
Well, sorry, let me just pick you up. I'm not sure you're just quite right about that. So I was looking at the story this morning. I think from memory, the figures are something like 75% of people who go to the doctor to get a quote-unquote sick note, there is a box the doctor can tick which says this person is not fit for any form of work whatsoever. And then they go off work into sickness benefits. And that, I believe, in the speech, is one of the things Prime Minister set out to change.
This would be two different cohorts of people. They would be different standards, because I'm pretty certain that the same standards that a doctor will have to check are not the same as, a tribunal judge and the Social Security Tribunal would have to check for you to, appeal a decision on your disability benefits. It's not going to be the same standards. The second thing I would say is, again, we are using rhetoric to target a weak group of people that probably applies to a very tiny minority of people and probably not the same ones who need this kind of policy. Usually the people, what Rishi Sunak is suggesting is that a lot of these people who have a sick note are not really sick. They are well enough to work and, maybe they are a little bit sick, but not really that sick that they couldn't work at all. But the kind of person who can get their doctor to give them either a fake or an exaggerated sick note is not the kind of person. It's the kind of person who has confidence, who has the means to support that kind of decision. It's not the kind of person who is probably going to be damaged by this kind of rhetoric. Because what he's basically doing is he's saying, hey, managers everywhere in workplaces, I am giving you the moral right to punish your employees.
Hold on. So, there are 3 million people currently on out-of-work sickness benefit. That's gone up by nearly 1 million people since COVID, and a lot of them, I don't know the exact figure, are mental health. Well, what the Prime Minister is saying have been signed off for mental health issues, which can be absolutely debilitating. I'm not belittling it in any way whatsoever. So what the Prime Minister is saying is, first of all, working is proven to be one of the better ways to improve your mental health. It's about self-esteem, it's about defining who you are, it's about going to work. So he's saying that we're doing people a disservice by signing them off and saying you can't go to work, because it actually compounds a lot of the issues they have. And the second point is that if you're just signed off sick by a GP, the Prime Minister has said in this speech, you're just almost written off. What he wants to do is have it done in centres where they say, well, if you can't continue your work as whatever it may be, a carer, say, there are other jobs you could do even with this level of sickness.
What he wants to do is he wants to blanket punish sick people without actually putting in place any measure that's going to help the people who have been written off sick.
Go on, Matthew. Are we blanket punishing people?
No, I think some of the rhetoric could do with finessing so that it doesn't appear that it's targeting those who are quite legitimately on sick benefits, on disability benefits. I think that the issue here is that GPs writing people off. I mean, we all remember in the 80s, particularly in former industrial areas, there was a kind of culture of people who, left the shipyard or left the coal mine, had an industrial disease, and obviously weren't going to go back into hard manual labour, were basically given a sick note by GPs because they felt, essentially felt sorry for them. I think that's...
All right, OK, Matthew, we're going to have to go to break.